Hello there, and welcome to The Moment. I hope you're having a great day. I am your host with the absolute most, CLEO BERRY. Now, if this is your first time watching The Moment, welcome. Now, let me fill you in about who we are and what we do. We are a hybrid talk show / podcast that films in the heart of Hollywood at the heart of Hollywood. That's right, from the comfort of my dining room over there. Guests from all areas of entertainment will stop by to discuss current events, the ins and outs of their industry, and especially the lives they live. But most importantly, each guest will dive deeply into the moment that they decided their passion in life. So amazing. Now, on today's show, we're diving deeply into the world of unscripted television. Yes, I'm talking about your reality shows, your docu-series, your competition shows. Now, I'm of an age, where I remember there weren't a lot of these on the air, so we are blessed with a plethora of them to choose from nowadays. Shows like The Bachelor, Big Brother, Traitors, The Housewives. They are just as much a part of American life as, say, a Scandal or Bridgerton or even a Game of Thrones. Reality stars are commanding just as much respect and bit of a paycheck as any of our leading men or ladies in Hollywood. They're sitting front row at fashion shows. They have the biggest commercials, print campaigns, movies, and television shows that we all are watching right now. I think that is fascinating. Welcome to reality television. Now, for some current events, is anyone paying attention to the drones that are in New Jersey and Pennsylvania? Yeah, it's a little creepy, we all can agree. What is their purpose? Are aliens finally trying to make contact? Is our government spying on us? Is there a superpower government that is researching us? I don't know. Let's go with the alien theory. Maybe they are ready to talk. Maybe they're researching us. Maybe we're on the 3rd season of their reality show about our human slice of life. Whew, that's a lot to take in. I know. So whenever life gets a little hairy, a little scary for me, I like to sit back, relax, and turn on a little guilty pleasure television. Okay? So it makes a lot of sense that while I was watching it, I started thinking to myself, who's responsible for bringing these unique personalities to television? These people who we love to love and love to hate. Whose job is it to get this show from a thought to a realization? And luckily, I know a guy. He was recently named one of Hollywood's new leaders by industry vehement Variety. He graduated from Columbia University with a Master of Arts. He acted a little bit and quickly transitioned to casting. Since then, he has worked for a plethora of companies, including MTV, VH1, CMT, among others. Right now, he is making waves as Vice President of Unscripted Television at Hulu. Everyone, please help me welcome my friend, Mr. VP himself, Dane Joseph.
This is the moment, let's be clear, this is your moment, while you're here, this is the moment, let's be clear, this is your moment, while you're here,
Hello, everyone, and welcome to The Moment. I am your host with the absolute most, CLEO BERRY, and today we have a very special guest. He is someone who I admire not only for his talent, but his heart. He's one of the kindest people I've ever met. He's also one of the most talented. He's best friends with my best friend, which makes him my best friend, okay? Right now, he is currently Vice President of Unscripted Series at Hulu. He also is the co-founder and executive producer of Novu Productions, a multimedia production house that creates and produces films, TV, and theater, including the films Boy, starring Anthony Rapp, the Go-Go TV series at Here TV, and he also wrote the feature film The Breeding. Everyone, please help me welcome Dane Harrington Joseph, or as I know him, Dane Joe.
Hi, everybody.
Okay, so let's dig right on into this thing.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody wants to know the question. That's why everybody is here. Okay. What was the moment that you realized your passion in life?
I think I was probably 7 years old.
7?
I was 7, I was a baby.
Showing
And
all that stuff. Okay.
I would have the kids around the corners, you know, from the street, from the block,
Okay.
do little school plays, you know, for us in the backyard or my library at home and things of that nature. I would hire choreographers I couldn't pay for. I would call up the local is it called the local PBS station to see if we can get camera out there. It never came, you know.
I cannot.
But I had the firm belief. I don't know what that was called at the time.
Right.
Now I know it's called producing.
You were recently named one of Hollywood's new leaders by one of the industry's biggest behemoths, Variety. What does that feel like? How do you sit in that? What is it like?
I turned 40 this year. It's
40?
40, and it's a list of people who are under 40. And so I think the list came out in like maybe January, something like that. And I was like, you know what? I won't get on this. Maybe I can get on the Fab under 50 or something like that.
Right.
And God said, let me show you something real quick. And he put me on that list right before I turned 40.
Okay, so I want to know this. Like, where were you when you found out?
I'm trying to remember exactly where I was
at. At work, at home?
I'm pretty sure I was at work. I was at work. I got an email from our communications PR department. I was just like, "Congratulations, you made the list." And I was honestly just super surprised and humbled.
Who's the first person you told?
My mom.
Of course. Absolutely.
I told my mom.
I
called mom and took a little, and I waited. I was saying believe it until it actually was published, and then I took I did a little post on Instagram.
Right.
Did a little screenshot of it all.
Right.
It was just super powerful.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
A little post.
Blessings. Okay, so a lot of people that come on this show are, actors, writers, singers. Their titles are easy to decipher. You know what a singer is doing.
Yeah.
Your title is Vice President Unscripted Series at Hulu. Tell the audience, and possibly a few of us in this room, what that means.
So it's basically producing at a different level, right? But it's basically I'm responsible for overseeing. I'll say helping. It takes a team in the village, right? But my remit, I would say, is to help curate and execute on exciting new unscripted programs on Hulu, which is only been on edited for about 3.5 years. So that means that from the very beginning, early ideation stage, where people are pitching me projects, or I think projects myself, fleshing them out in the process called development. And then once you decide, hey, let's greenlight the show, I got the show from pre-production through launch throughout the rest of the series life, essentially, to hopefully become a hit on the service, hopefully. Right. So it takes, it's a mixture of meeting with external producers, talent, etc., to see what projects to bring to us. It's a process of me and my team sitting down thinking about what do I think is interesting, what do I want to see on TV, and of course it's just managing productions and the many fires that arise, because unscripted is
fires everywhere.
Unscripted, so
real people,
real issues, everything, right. And so the level of investment. I was supposed to say we're actors, and sometimes like you say we show up for a check. This they don't like. I don't care about the check. They don't have to come to set. If they do come to set, they don't have to do anything good, right? So it's about it's always a conversation with people are figuring out, and then you just never know. I think it's a very exciting genre because you just never know what's going to happen in a given moment.
What? Okay, so you are credited with bringing the Kardashians to Hulu or helping one of the biggest shows on the streamer. Like, how did you become a part of that?
I was at MTV and VH1 prior to in New York. And then once I got this job at Hulu, the first job thing I asked my boss was like, well, what's your top priority? And she was like, the Kardashians are coming to Hulu. And it has to work. I was like, got it.
First task, make the Kardashians work.
That was literally the first task I was given and told to do. I was like, okay, what is that? What does that mean? Et cetera. But thankfully, we have an amazing creative leadership at Hulu of my boss, Rob Mills, and my boss at the time, Billy Balaban, et cetera. Amazing production company in Full Well 73, who brought a very unique visual aesthetic and I think take on how to approach the show and big idea of the show, and the fabulous showrunner Danielle King. And so, us all just really staying close, working together, and with the family who's actually very involved. Like the producers,
well, that's good to know. They're incredibly
they're very, very, very involved. They're passionate about the shows, and so we were able to work on a project that people seem to resonate still, which is a blessing.
I know everybody probably wants me to, ask you what's it like to work with Kim Kardashian or any of that type of stuff. But what's your favorite?
I don't get that close to Kim and them.
I can't. I can't.
Although I will say, my favorite moment is probably the premiere of the show and the premiere party. My first Hollywood premiere was amazing. They were all there. And the unexpected treat for me there, speaking of the family, is that if you actually watch the episode, I think it's season 2 or 3. Okay. If you watch the episode when the show premieres, I'm literally surprised to me. I'm sitting right behind Kim. So if you look close enough at that shot, you can see Kim, and then right behind Kim it's me, and I'm unaware that I'm even on camera at the time. So that's a good little memory.
Cute. What's your favorite show that you've helped bring to air so far?
My favorite project though is a show called Your Husband is Cheating on Us.
Your Husband is Cheating on Us. Okay.
Because it's a show that me and Bestie Dwight were discussing. Dwight. We had a great conversation about a scripted version of the show that we are still working on passionately. Everything is going to be hilarious, and it was like, this is an interesting world to explore reality. What is there a reality version to be made? And it's the first show I was able to pretty quickly get sold and premiere on Bravo, which was super dope when I was on the production company side. I
love the Bravo network.
Yeah.
Okay, so doing some research on you, I found out that you were an NBC page. Now, working around, entertainment cities like this, you hear about job titles like that. Everybody wants to be a page, but what actually is a page? Like, what do you do? You're on the studio lot helping. What do you do?
The page program is basically, it's a pretty old program. Right. People like Regis Philbin.
I've heard about it forever.
It's like decades and decades. And essentially, you come in and you're basically working, like floating around the company. And when you float around the company, you get different assignments in different divisions of NBC Universal. And then I think I got their Comcast about it. So it was like that. It's like, and you can go to like, maybe I want to work in comms or publicity or communications or feature films.
So they're helping you try to figure out where you actually want to land?
Yeah, you kind of figure out where you want to land, but also because you're learning so much there, a lot of people come to the page program to find assistance. Because they're like, these people have been vetted, these are the best of the best, etc. And so it's almost like a job pool of people, mostly, honestly.
Okay.
And then when you're not working on assignment, like let's say like you've got to do 3 months at the Today Show, right? You go to Today Show, and then you come back, but you give tours of Rockefeller Center, or here I think you do of the NBC lot,
Warner Brothers,
of NBC lot, and so Universal lot, and so you do that, and just by doing that, having this be comfortable, doing 4 to 5 tours a day and leading groups and being eloquent and remembering what's going on, etc. You just kind of get used to us talking.
Wow.
And I think that part of it's being communicative and talking to people is such a big part of the job anyway. And so that's the other thing too, is just like, yes, you're giving tours, but actually it's training you to just, be able to be forward facing and represent a company and a brand overall.
So I have a show now. You're on here. You might not ever do a pitch masterclass for anybody. So I'm gonna take advantage of you while you're on here. So I have 2 shows.
Yes,
and I want to talk them over with you and talk through the basis of getting it on the air.
Yeah.
One of them is called The Moment. Hello. Hi.
Hello.
It's where, guests and friends from all areas of entertainment stop by. Talk about the current events, the ins and outs of their life and what's going on. The other one is called Searching for Me. It's a reality docuseries where every episode a guest lost in life has an intervention by 3 exceptionally gifted friends.
Yes.
They each specialize in an area like astrology, world history, and DNA analysis. They come together to uncover, the star signs, the birth charts, and they all use them to construct a better life for the guest. So, which TV show sounds like the best one to move forward with right now, and then we'll go from there.
Okay, interesting. Well, one, I would say, do you? Your whistle is always going to cut through. And this is actually perfect.
Say, do you?
Yeah, I was going to say, like, something to the moment, I would say, the thing about that is just like, I think you just getting out there and just doing, like, even this right now, it's going to show what your voice is and why it's so needed anyway. I think sometimes it's harder because in the streaming, just how the difference between streaming streaming and cable or linear TV, right?
Right.
Is that like on linear TV you have a complete data program.
Right.
People just watch it all day, whatever else.
They're
And
used
so
to it, yeah.
so like something like a talk show that they might like, okay, cool, I see the daytime in the morning or like right after 4 and then you have prime time, which was more prime time.
Yeah.
And streaming, you won't see that many talk shows. I think it's because
I feel like Netflix is kind of getting into
a
it
little bit, but it's not like, but it's so tricky because it's almost as if you have to like tell people urgency is what I call it.
Right.
Urgency is such a tricky thing sometimes. And streaming, and we can't teach the audience. The audience have to be like say, hey, I'm going to watch this. Whereas we were so lucky on television because people will kind of have a channel on. They might just check it out just because. Right.
Watch it because it comes after their favorite show.
Or they like that brand. It might be. They might say, "Oh my God, I love Bravo, and here is Andy Cohen hosting a talk show, a Bravo talk show. Right. Therefore, I will watch what happens live." It's the same type of feel, right?
Right.
Streamers are all encompassing. So it's not as if you're like, okay, the brand of Netflix is X. Hulu is X. Right. So give people to sample things. They know what it is, right? So I would say like with the talk show, it's a little tricky because it's almost like for a streamer anyway. It's kind of so it's like, well, is it going to build enough audience? We know what's. I didn't going to know what to expect yet until that person's brand becomes whatever, right? So that might be a little tricky for us. And then the other one sounds interesting. Other one works too. I think part of it is similarly speaking. I guess I'll get through the pitch process of it all, right? Yeah. So it's just the idea, right? Okay. So there's the idea. You come on in, and usually it's like you talk to somebody like me, or like you have an agent that submits it in through whatever else. If you're independent,
you would talk to someone who you know, or your agent would bring the idea to.
Yeah, your agent could bring an idea anywhere. I would say if you're independent, and you can't actually execute the show, like you can't actually produce it yourself, like every single day, right? Or the network won't approve you. Well, that's also tricky too, because network has to approve you. It's not up to me. It's up to like the overlords.
The overlords.
Well, no, they have to ensure. They have to ensure. I mean, that's probably just also practical, so they have to ensure the show. Right. So it's like a So then, and so usually I think the best way out to do is finding like a production company that has a pre-existing relationship with the network that has similar kind of work, you know. So like for example,
and you would pitch yourself first to the production company. Yeah.
So like there's like for the moment, for example, are there companies like I don't know Embassy Row that does like a lot of talk shows, like talk shows that might be like, hey, this is the type of company that does what I do, and the network would say, okay, they already do what they do, so what he does, I'm comfortable with giving them the show, and then consequently, same thing of like let's show you describe. It's like something like, okay, who produces Queer Eye? Right to that yeah, exactly. Let's go to that same company because you can also market it better. From the creators of Queer Eye comes blah blah blah, right? And so
are y'all listening? Are y'all taking notes? Okay.
So that's what you would do is like because and even for me, like people, well, one. A lot of times people will bring me a show directly. I'm like legally, actually, I can't even really truly look at it.
I can't listen to it.
I can't listen. Only also because like people might, and also you'd be surprised how often people have very similar ideas at the same. I don't care how specific you think it is, and it's no one's fault. I think something's until I got on this side of business, something was just get into the air or in the zeitgeist where everyone has a very similar idea. You're 4 or 5. You're like, oh, okay, and it might be. It could be the oddest subject. It's just. I think it's just funny, but it happens, and so the next thing you know, I was like, they don't stole my idea. I'm like, there were 10 of them. Like I don't know. Like, are you talking? I mean, I don't know what you're talking about. And so, so there's that. So, but if you go to a production company and write, like I would connect with. You can find it online. The director of development.
IMDb Pro or something like that.
Yeah, IMDb Pro. You research the show, go on IMDb Pro, and you say, okay, cool. Who's the director of development? Who's the VP of development? Something like that. And watch those people and be like, hey, or for a talk show, you might be like, hey, write to the talent team and be like, hey, I'm talent. Here's my talk show, right? At that production company. So you do that, write them an inquiry email. If they're open to having a conversation, I got the pitch, and then.
So the production company likes you, they've got your show, and then what's the next?
Y'all would do a deal first. I'm going to say it's very clear.
Okay.
Before y'all do any work, you should do something like called an attachment agreement. It's usually called an attachment agreement, or there's different words for it, but
it's a deal.
It's a deal, essentially, and that deal would basically lay out formalize your relationship.
Okay.
It will say, hey, we're working on this show for X amount of time, you know, and that course that time. And it will even go down to, at the very least, if there's any kind of compensation, what that would look like, usually further on. To be very clear to everybody, development loses money for every company. So if you get a development deal, it is very unlikely you're going to be paid for that. Not because they're being shady, but because what typically happens is for them to like hire a camera crew and put people's time on it and stuff like that to even bring it to market, they're going to probably invest tens of thousands of dollars easily, right? Immediately do that. So they're already in the hole, right? Then they'll pitch it. So they go to their agents or people like me, myself, direct the executive. They say, okay, now we're ready. They'll go in. They'll show that so that they already paid for and X, Y, and Z. And then typically, if we like, this is dope, this is whatever, we would then offer a development step, right?
Y'all would offer them a development.
That's the production development step.
Okay.
And by de facto, you're attached to the project, right?
Right.
Via your attachment agreement.
Right.
So we would offer. So then we would do that, and then we would give an amount of money to help fund the development. Okay. And formalize our relationship. But usually, if I'm being honest, it's not going to. It's not enough money to even cover the investment of that either. It's just enough to be like, hey, we think there's something here. Show us what you got. Some type of proof of concept. Right, I mean, in theory, you could take the money and just try to make that much money and try to make it work. But typically, if you want to give it your all, a lot of companies, it's not mandatory. A lot of companies will go over and above the amount of money given to show this is how it needs to be pitched, right? This is how it needs to be presented to the world, unless it's a pilot. So a proof of concept, it could be a presentation, kind of casting tape,
3-4 minutes, 5 minutes.
It can go anywhere from. It can be even longer. It can be depending on what you want to do. Really, usually I specify in the contract too, but for me, let's say, for example, I don't care how long it is, as long as it like does the job of explaining like what the show is, what the character is, what the story. So, but that's shorter. So that's something that comes in, whatever. A pilot is actually a fully funded episode. Right. So from a pilot, if you get offered a pilot, you should get money because usually,
are we listening?
Because a pilot is an episode of television, and so they can their fee is baked into the pilot budget already. Okay. There are no residuals in reality TV. It doesn't work like that.
Right.
But it's what's called a production company fee or something of that nature. And that's where they get the money from. For every episode, they get money. That's just basically their profit. Right. And usually the co-producer or how it will be on the show, creator, whatever else, will get a percentage of that percentage, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
For all episodes, and so or whatever your deal is. So then, so that's how it would typically work. So we'll do that process of, it depends what the show is. If it's a show you mentioned, for example,
Searching for Me. Okay.
We would have to probably first cast it, right?
Right.
So we'll probably start casting the show, and so that's one step of the process. And then my type.
Would you change out the people? Like if we brought you a show, you guys like the premise of the show, but not the people in it. Would you switch?
It's possible. Yeah, it's possible. I mean,
anything is possible when it gets to this.
What I would say too, even as independent, like you say, if you're Searching for Me, right? If you had like an incredible talent, even one person, but if not even 3, that's incredible. Now that person you can do a deal with as well too. Keep that in mind. And that person you can say it's an independent person. I know there's about like this person on television, and this person makes the show. Right.
We could cast around.
You guys find that person, etc. So you guys should do that person.
Like scripted in a sense.
Yeah, kind of like that. Yeah. So that's something you're like, hey, I found Oprah Winfrey. There's nobody else like Oprah, you know, right. And so we'll figure out from there, right? And so if that's the case, then I would say a lot of times a good talent person can help your show. It's not necessary, but it could also help your show and help make the case, because there's always, as I said, there's so many ways a show could die so quickly. Not being able to cast it is one easy way a show could die, right? Say you're able to cast it, then we work on paper what the show is, building a Bible.
Okay.
You know, and the budget. Right. How much is it going to cost? Is it realistic with all the variables that you after you create the Bible? And how quickly can we get it? The schedule, right? The green light to launch schedule, what we call it. And then if you said, okay, that seems good, then we would say, okay, go film it. And that's what we would film, either the presentation or pilot. If it's a presentation, you shoot in a couple of days, few days. Okay. If it's a pilot, usually unscripted, probably shooting like a week.
Okay.
A TV, give or take. For every episode, it's like a week of filming. And then and then we edit it, and then we discuss it. If we like it, we test it. We test it. It goes to the overlords. The audiences like it. Do other departments internally like it, or any other issues?
That matters. The other department.
Yeah, you need to. You really need to. But that's what I'm saying. Like Moses, like it's not just me. Like can PR promote it? Are there any legal considerations here? Is it work for the brand overall? Are these who are concerned about have we vetted on a talent and their background checks? Are they going to be okay? Especially in social media, have you looked at social posts?
And that's so important nowadays. People forget that like you want to be on television, but you wrote some horrible posts 8 years ago.
Yeah, even if you changed, it can also still trigger people.
Right.
Like, did you really change? Did you change for a TV show? I mean,
right.
And so then, so there's all those things to consider. So there's a lot of layers of people who need to weigh in. But if it gets put through all of that, and the bosses like it, then it might be potentially, and we got space for it.
Oh wow,
that's the other part too.
Good God,
we might love the show. We might have 5 shows that we absolutely love that are the same budget, but only enough to program one slot of television, right? And so, I'm trying to say, so there's that too. So it's like we can't. It's not an unlimited budget. It's enough budget to put things whatever you have to do, right? So like, how do you make those decisions on what you're on the air? So that's why I say it takes a long. There's so many reasons you're almost like, this is a miracle, something out on the air sometimes. It could die at any moment in that process, and usually that process takes at least a year, if not more, to do.
Are you guys listening? You just got walked through a pitch session by someone who doesn't even offer this. Like, you just got free information. You are very welcome.
Only for CLEO.
You rewind it, and if this is the area that you want to go into, this is valuable information here. Okay, I want to stop right here. We have a game section coming up next. I'm so excited to play this with you. Everyone, stay tuned. Dane Joe and me will be right back.
The most,
Hey everybody, welcome back to The Moment. I am your host with the absolute most, CLEO BERRY, and this is our game segment. Okay, no, let me try to explain this to you. This is a like-ish game. They're not paying me, I'm not paying them, so So I'm going to pull out an action or movie. You tell me which one you want to pull out. I'm going to act it out. Guess enough correct in a minute. We will donate a portion of our budget to the charity of your choice. Would you please tell the audience what the charity of your choice is?
Yes, CLEO. Today I'll be playing for the South LA Animal Shelter, where I adopted my beautiful dog, Homeboy. He's a blessing to me and everybody who he meets.
Okay, so are we on the timer?
I'm ready when you are.
Okay. So whenever you're ready to start, tell me to start and I'll start.
Okay, I'll start. Movies.
Movies.
Oh, God.
It's going to be something good.
He-Man. The Hulk.
You know what? You're not.
Thor. This cost me time. Cold. Cold outside. Cold mountain. Brokeback Mountain. Iced tea. Cold ice. Ice cold. In cold blood. Cold. Cold.
I'm going to do actions.
Action. Running. Running marathon. Up the block. Late. Running towards to a fight. This costed me time. Flipping pancakes. I know food.
5, 4, 3, 2.
Drawing. Sketching.
Time.
I think I won.
This is the first. I'm not quite sure if we even played, but we're very kind here at the moment, and so we're gonna donate to the animal shelter anyway for Dane Joseph. Woo!
Wow.
Okay. We have one last question before
Thank you.
Well, we get you out of here. Now, we both went to school in New York City for college.
Yes, yes.
You received your Master of Arts from Columbia. Is there any advice for college students or young professionals who want to get into this line of business? Because it's a fairly new journey in entertainment, reality. So, do you have any advice for them or the audience?
Yes, I would just say, honestly, I would say get your foot in the door however you can. First off, especially for a first job. Page thing works. Interning works. I mean, I remember one time I wrote an email, I solicited at Tyra Banks' show to see if the PAs on set, and they called me back, right? So, like, they're shooting in your town, like, try to get on set as a production assistant.
I interned all around New York City.
Agencies,
management companies.
And they pay interns nowadays.
Right. Right. I was working for a hamburger and, some advice.
I got a Metro card.
You got a Metro card?
That's all I got, yeah.
I got to get there.
I was able to get there. That was about it. So then you can do that, whatever. That's our main thing. And just be like, I would say, when you go to these jobs, just know you're being of service. You're going to come out of college. Right. You're going to be super smart. You're going to be super capable. Everybody who's an assistant comes out super smart, we all start there, right? But you don't know everything. Once again, we're in apprentice positions. And so just figuring out how you can be of service in that moment and be valuable in that moment so you can, keep getting more and more tasks and like really just absorbing everything. Right. But realizing, yes, you might just be getting the coffee today, but that's of service to make so you can be close to your boss. Now, the person's happy. You can hear what they're talking about and who they're talking to and what's going on.
You can be getting coffee for someone who's going to change your life.
Change your life.
Months,
so that's the main thing. It's like not just about what can the job do for you. It's about what are you doing to help contribute to like the workplace, the atmosphere, and whatnot too. So I would say that's something that I've always embraced. I'm like, it's not really about me. Like my whole career has been I'm of service to somebody. Oof. And I don't care how big you get. You can be the president of Disney. He's of service to the board. Right. Nobody is the boss. So the Alpha Omega. And so except for Jesus Christ. And so that's about it. So that's my main thing is I'm like, learn to be of service and be cool with that. Not to be abused, but to understand that, hey, I will help
Baby
you.
Steps.
Baby steps. I want to help you and you're going to help me. It's a symbiotic relationship.
And speaking on this, thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you for watching. Thank you for my guest, Dane Joseph. But speaking of this, I want to thank Byron for reminding me what Issa Rae said about, instead of trying to network across with your friends and grow together. And this is my first opportunity this season to do this. So thank you for helping me do that. Thank you for coming on the show. Thank you for everybody watching at home. Issa Rae, this chair is available. It will be empty for you whenever you would like to sit in it, okay? So thank you, everybody. Have a great night, great day, wherever you are in the world. Bye.
Bye-bye, y'all.
This is the moment. Let's be clear. This is your moment.